Hey, what is up, Arrow fans? My name is Tommy from ZD Comics, and welcome to the very first episode of DC TV Talk. This is a new series on my channel where I will be discussing all the DC TV shows such as Arrow, Flash, Constantine, and Gotham, also including the 3 new shows that we'll be getting next year, which are Krypton, Supergirl, and Titans. There are going to be 7 DC TV shows on next fall. 7 shows. That's 1 per day. Okay, that's insane. So we could literally be getting to see, if we get 1 per day, we'll have months and months of just constant live action TV shows from DC Comics. I couldn't, this is the time to be alive. I'm telling you, if you're a comic book fan, this is the time to be alive. So this show and this series on my channel is going to be great. I have tons of topics video for today, tons of topic videos for the future. Anyway, let's get started with the video. But I have to mention one thing. In this video, I mentioned one character, Ra's al Ghul, all the time, and one problem I get all the time whenever I say the name Ra's al Ghul is literally the name, the way I pronounce it. Now, Ra's al Ghul has been known to get pronounced by 2 different names, Ra's al Ghul and Ra's al Ghul. I say Ra's al Ghul, okay? People have been saying Raz, people have been saying Raz throughout ever since the character was born. In like interviews, everyone's like Raz and Raz. It doesn't really matter, okay? So please do not punch me in the face in the comment section down below saying, oh, it's Ra's al Ghul. I'm gonna say Raz. That's how I've been saying it my whole life, and I'm just saying it in this video. No hate. So the topic video for today is about Arrow. More specifically, it's about Arrow in the second half of season 3, and we do know that, I don't want to spoil it, but I'm gonna have to, so leave now, okay? Just leave. Okay, so now all the people who have seen the episode, yes, Arrow did die, and the topic for today is, will Arrow become evil or deranged in any way after he goes in the Lazarus Pit, because that's pretty much the only way he's gonna return. So let me recap exactly what happened so far in the first half of Season 3. So, in the last few episodes in the first half of Season 3, Malcolm Merlyn approached Green Arrow and was talking about how he needs him to murder Ra's al Ghul because he has a bounty on his head. So basically, Malcolm Merlyn was blackmailing Arrow. He's like, Arrow, you go kill Ra's al Ghul. If you kill him, I won't have a bunch of League of Assassins members trying to kill me. So he went to go kill him, and Arrow is the one, Oliver Queen is the one that ended up getting stabbed in the chest and literally kicked off the side of a Himalayas mountain. And that's exactly how this first half of Season 3 ended, and it was amazing. So that's pretty much all you need to know for this topic video. That is what happened at the last episode. I think it was Season 3, Episode 10. That's exactly what happened. Arrow is flat out dead. So we know that, of course, Green Arrow is going to take a dip in the Lazarus Pit. It's pretty much the only way he'll return. He's not going to take some pill. He's not going to do anything else. The story is revolving around Ra's al Ghul. That's what this season is focusing on, and Ra's al Ghul pretty much owns the Lazarus Pit, so he will be taking a dip in one of Ra's al Ghul's Lazarus Pits. Let me mention a few characters who have went to the Lazarus Pit and came out a little bit deranged. These characters are Ra's al Ghul, Malcolm Merlyn, and Red Hood. So you're probably very well aware of all these characters, and let me go over each one. Now, in the comic books, Ra's al Ghul pretty much owns the Lazarus Pit, and he has been evil for thousands of years. Now, Jason Todd, who was killed by the Joker, was also put into the Lazarus Pit, but he came out deranged. He was so angry, and he actually has a lot of problems. Now, we do know that Jason Todd used to be Robin, my bad, and Robins don't kill. If you're aligned with Batman, if you are one of Batman's members, such as Batgirl, you don't kill people. You just don't do it. But Jason Todd came back and just started killing everybody, most likely because he was deranged. When you take a dip in the Lazarus Pit, you don't come back normal. There are side effects. It's like doing heroin. You do heroin, and you get released off heroin, you're scratching yourself or bleeding. I don't really know what it is, but it's kind of like taking a drug and going through the withdrawal symptoms. That's exactly what it is, going through a Lazarus Pit. You just come out deranged and insane with mental illnesses, physical illnesses, and everything like that. So as far as the Arrow universe goes, the only 2 characters who went to Lazarus Pit were Malcolm Merlyn and Ra's al Ghul. And we do know that both those characters were already evil. So we don't really know that when Arrow does go into the Lazarus Pit, if he'll come back deranged. But we do know that Malcolm Merlyn went in there and he came back pretty fine, but he was already a killer. He was already insane. And we don't really know anything about Ra's al Ghul yet, besides the fact that it looks like he just went to Lazarus Pit because he looks pretty young. course, he is like thousands of years old. And I kind of like the Ra's al Ghul that looks older and has the more of the beard, but they just kind of stuck with a very young character-ish vibe throughout the entire, Arrow and Flash universe, because it's a young universe. Arrow's young, everyone's young, so they basically made Ra's al Ghul young as well. So the question is Oliver Queen gonna go insane when he gets back from the Lazarus Pit? My guess is yes. Why would they not do it? It would just piss everybody off. It would be a great character dynamic for the second half of season 3, and I think it's the best way to go. So what if he does go insane? What exactly would he feel? What happens when you go into a Lazarus Pit? So let's just mention that we're watching season 3, and here are a few things that could possibly happen that would change Arrow. He could, 1, have a mental illness. No, he could, not something physically, but something psychology-wise, that he just goes insane, like maybe he sleepwalks, maybe he has blackouts where random parts of during the day he has these freakouts and maybe murders somebody, something unforgivable, and he doesn't remember it when he, flashes back to reality. So he could have these illnesses, and he could possibly just have really intense anger issues, or he completely could change his psychology and just end up maybe killing people. He's like, you know what, I'm done, I'm just gonna kill people again. I hope they don't go that route, because we just got back the Arrow that was like, yo, I'm not gonna kill people. But like I was mentioning before, Jason Todd went to the Lazarus Pit, he came back and started killing people. Maybe the Lazarus Pit just makes you want to kill people. You don't really know. But my guess is that he won't want to kill people besides Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul needs to die. Some people just need to die. It just happens, Like the Joker. The Joker should have died a long time ago. Okay, so let's get to the point. Arrow goes insane. How will that affect the story? Now, I'm going to mention something that you probably didn't know. The first 2 episodes of the second half of season 3 are going to revolving around Roy Harper and Roy Harper only. We won't be getting really any Green Arrow, any Oliver Queen at all in the first 2 episodes. He'll be returning in the 13th episode, which is the 3rd episode in the second half of season 3. And I think that's the best way they could have done it, because now we're going to get 2 episodes where we get to see Team Arrow, like Diggle, Roy, and Felicity, and we get to see all of them and their reactions to the fact that Oliver just died. Most importantly, we'll get to see Roy Harper's reaction. And now that Green Arrow is dead, Arsenal is the new Green Arrow. He was the protege, and now he must be the master. And that's a dynamic we're really going to get to see a lot in the first 2 episodes of season 3. It's going to be awesome. I can't believe it. Like, we're going to have 2 episodes where Roy Harper is probably going to go out into the city on his own, do his own thing. He's probably going to have a lot of deep emotional thought, like, holy crap, like, can I do this? Maybe I should just give up. Maybe there doesn't need to be Green Arrow. There's going to be a lot of questions going through his head, and they're going to pack it all into these 2 episodes, so I'm pretty psyched to see it. So there was an interview with the creators of Arrow and the people who were making the episodes, and they said that the 12th episode of season 3, which is the second episode where we're going to get like a Roy Harper alone story, that episode will have one of the best scenes emotionally, physically, acting-wise ever for Roy Harper and the actor himself, and I can't wait to see it. Now, the episode is going to revolving around him only, and I think it's revolving around Malcolm Merlyn as well. And the scene specifically that they were talking about that is like the best scene ever is going to be revolving around Roy Harper and Malcolm Merlyn together. I think it's a line that Roy Harper says to Malcolm Merlyn, but the dialogue between them, a possible fight between them, is the best scene that we're going to see. And I cannot wait for it. It's going to be awesome. So that is true. The creators of the show did say that's going to happen. So look out for that. You should be able to notice it when it happens, or it obviously was not that good. Let's move on to the final part of this video, and that is, what will Arrow do? He'll have 8 episodes to himself. He'll come back in the 3rd episode of the second half, and he'll have 8 episodes. Now, my guess is that for the first 4 or 5 episodes, he'll be, going through the withdrawal symptoms and the craziness and everything. Then eventually he'll get back and start planning his attack on Ra's al Ghul in the last 3 episodes. Now, of course, the whole second half is all about Ra's al Ghul. I can't see it being anything else. And obviously, they're probably not going to throw any random characters. The Suicide Squad isn't probably going to go in there. It's probably going to be all about Ra's al Ghul, and the final boss battle will probably be Arrow versus Ra's al Ghul. And I don't know if this is true, I think that Deathstroke is going to break out of the prison at the finale of season 3. So I don't know how that's going to affect the rest of the story, but that's probably going to be a good cliffhanger. I hope this ends with a cliffhanger. We haven't really gotten a cliffhanger ending yet. So it would be pretty awesome if we get this big cliffhanger with Deathstroke comes out of nowhere, and like the Suicide Squad, and like there's just like a huge monster of people. But it definitely should end after the fight with, Ra's al Ghul and Arrow, and of course Arrow should win. Maybe he'll kill Ra's al Ghul, who cares? Ra's al Ghul will obviously return because he has the Lazarus Pit. So that's going to wrap up the very first episode of DC TV Talk. All you gotta do is like this video to get more of these. I want you guys to comment down below what else you want me to talk about. My next topic is going to be talking about the Justice League and a possible Justice League TV show team up with all the TV shows we have of DC. Will we possibly getting to see a Justice League on the television? But don't worry, I'll be talking about all of that in the episode 2 of DC TV Talk. Anyway guys, if you have any comments or questions, please post them down below. Like this video and subscribe to my channel if you're new. My name is Tommy from Z&D Comics, and thank you for watching.